Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know. Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local black-owned businesses and sadly has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Plenty nights solo. For you, I fit to run collabo. For you, I enter deep and shallow. Your body me like better swallow. Where would I run to? Wherever you go, I'll follow. Your name be the name I call. For love, we go so my trouble. Baby, patience and guidance. That's what I love. Can't make you wait. Girl, you're patient. That's what I want. That's what you give. That's what I love.
KBLA Talk 1580. Miles asked me, what's my weekend? My weekend playlist is all deal right now. I'm on that. Woo! Get happy. Patience and guidance. It's about brainwashing myself to be happy and hopeful and joyous in the middle of crazy, crazy times. So, Miles, I know you're really into the AI thing, and I can see the amazing, constructive, great things you're doing with it. Dr. Rosie Milligan just got off. She has her mytechacademy.net. I know you give classes in AI, and I need to take one. I do think that we should all learn about it. But I'm looking at this Washington Post article about digital detox. And I know it's kind of a fad and a trend, but part of my concern about AI, and I feel like I'm always arguing the troglodyte position, but I don't mean to, is that it is demonstrably making us dumber. And it is not just AI. It's the doom scrolling, right? You don't have to be on AI at all. You can be like me and just be scrolling away on Instagram, because Instagram is like a constant grab bag of something to look at. Same with TikTok. Same with probably Facebook. I don't know. I haven't been on it in a while. But There's one new study that came out, which is cited here in this Washington Post article, about how even a small reduction in the amount of time we spend doom scrolling erases like 10 years of cognitive decline. So in other words, our brain going downhill. It's a study published in PNAS Nexus with almost 500 participants. Their average age is 32, and what they found is that even a short time away from scrolling, reducing the amount of scrolling, reducing the amount of time on social media, erases 10 years of cognitive decline. Not only does it, the going downhill of our brain, right, from getting old, it can take you back 10 years. Not only that, it improved their mental health outlook, their self-reported well-being, and their ability to pay attention.
After a detox, you saying?
Yeah, but it wasn't even a total detox. For 14 days, they used this app that blocked their internet access on their phone. So they could still text, they could still make phone calls, they just couldn't scroll.
That's called a dumb phone.
Right. They went to a dumb phone, and they were not banned from all social media.
Yeah, no.
The average time went from 314 minutes over that 2-week period to 161 minutes. So it's like they cut their scroll time in half.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
10 years though?
Yeah.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's doing, look, the AI and the technology right now is doing numbers on your brain, everybody. So
10 years of age-related decline.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Can you
That's
imagine
crazy.
I think I encourage it, Dominique. You want to try it? We should try it for a week, Dominique.
Yeah, make my phone dumb for a week.
Just do the dumb phone for a week, or like I was telling, I think yesterday I was talking with Faraji. We're talking about, could you do a little time without your phone? You know what I mean? Could you? He was like, no, not for the job. I'm like, what about just limiting your screen time then?
I say not for the job, but then I notice when I'm on vacation, I'm still scrolling. Sometimes I scroll even more because
you got free time now.
Yeah, now I don't have to look for a story or read a news bulletin. I can just watch whatever.
Yeah, and that's where I said, like, put a time limit on your phone, y'all. Put a time limit on them apps. Limit them apps to 45 minutes a day.
The researchers said that the effect of this experiment on depression was bigger than taking antidepressants. In other words, getting off the phone was better for people's brains than Xanax.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I love to be on my phone, but what they're saying, you don't have to restrict yourself forever and you don't have to get totally off it. But even if you did it partially or cut down for a few days a week, it would have this huge impact.
Or balance it out, touch grass and touch glass. Don't just be on the AI all day. Don't just be on social media and scrolling and, really get in the real world too.
And here's something I did not know, that apparently the phone is worse for your brain than the computer. And I don't.
Yeah.
Because with the phone, you could be on it while you're taking a walk, while you're on the toilet, while you're, with a computer, we're going to sit down, we're going to be on the computer.
Yeah. Plus it's plus the screen, plus the size of the screen, the blue light going directly into it. Your eyes don't get a rest because you're looking all over the screen all the time. And what's the other word I'm looking for? And the fact that it's such a fast feed that we're looking at on a phone all the time. You know what I mean? It's meant to be short and quick and
it's Gemini paradise. Lots and lots of information coming at us. But the other thing I didn't think about is that it's robbing you of joy from your other activities. I love my phone. I'm not trying to get on a rant about don't use your phone. I'm just wanting us to be aware of the price we're paying for our mental health. So like what the researchers are saying is if I'm having lunch with a friend, but I'm scrolling while I'm doing it, or I'm checking my phone all the time, that I'm enjoying that social activity less. So that's what I mean by it's robbing me of my joy. I mean, and I've heard of people who scroll while they're having sex. So.
And that's not even, and you're not even talking, you're talking about just the act of being engaged with the internet. You're not even talking about you actually emotionally being engaged with it and checking comments and seeing who watched what and who's doing what and are they where they said they are and watching everybody's story. Like, it pulls you in so many different directions, not just the physical side of you being there and what it does to your body, what it does to your mental, what it does to your focus, what it do to your thought retention.
Right, and because the phone, we carry it with us everywhere. It interrupts us. So it's more mindless, and so it's more insidious in that it invades our mental space, our mental health, without us really noticing it as much, because it's just a part of our life, like our hand or something. Mm-hmm. So I just, in this, and
not to cut you again, Dominique, but it is learning you. It's not just a device that is just some. It's not it's not a CD player that you're interacting with. You're interacting with something that actually actively is learning you and meant to draw you in more and more.
Right. It is.
It has an agenda.
It is the drug dealer.
For sure. Yeah.
It knows what you want.
And what that fix.
Gets ready to provide you more of whatever that is what you want.
Exactly what you want.
And Meta and YouTube just lost a case with this, young people who said that it was impacting their mental health to the tunes of millions of dollars. But the other thing I didn't realize was how much time we are spending. I know I do spend too much time, but what they're saying, the average person is spending like a month out of their year just scrolling. That's 1/12.
That's what I'm saying. Do yourself
a month of your whole year.
Do yourself a favor. Just put the limit on your phone, and it's gonna be tough when 6 o'clock hits and you've hit all your app maxes and you gotta listen to KBLA on your radio for the rest of the day.
Yeah, there you go.
I've done that before.
You can call us.
Man, call, yeah.
Or you could read a book.
Or work out, or learn something, or put a podcast on, or there's a lot of. That's the beauty of it too. There's a lot more things out there to fill that time. Learn something. You're gonna fill your time coming back. Go talk to somebody. Go talk to a stranger.
Yeah. Right? Film some content.
Go film some content. Go get a man. Go get a woman. Go do something. Yeah.
They're doing a study right now with 8,000 participants in 23 different countries. And this is Carnegie Mellon University that's doing this.
Okay.
Funded by the National Science Foundation. So this is a big deal. And what they're doing is all of the people in the study have to limit their time on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook to no more than 5 minutes a day per app for 2 weeks.
I love it.
So that would be like 25 minutes a day. That's rough, right? And I always use the excuse, I have to post for my job. But as soon as I get up there and start posting, I'm doom scrolling. I don't go on there, post, and get off.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. I gave myself 45 minutes, like on all the apps, on Instagram, on Facebook, on
45
YouTube.
minutes a day of scroll time.
That's what I had when I really had my real focus lock in. I don't have it on anymore. I took it off. But
I got you.
I was really locked in, trying to do it on purpose, though intentional for a couple
weeks.
Right,
that was your diet.
And it helped. It definitely helps. It keeps your thought. It keeps you connect back with your own thoughts, and you get less out of the timeline. You know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful.
I'm laughing because it says that even the people that cheated found that they still felt better because they were doing less, even though they cheated some during the study. Yeah. So we spend an average of 5 hours a day. The average American, 5 hours a day on their phone.
Yes, we do.
1.5 months in a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sometimes you'll do it, and what I've noticed too.
I'm talking to myself right now.
People will do it. You'll be on your phone while you're watching Netflix.
Oh, I do that all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's triple,
I do it
double.
while I'm watching the news. And my excuse is I'm watching news and news. But still, 1.5 months out of my year?
Right.
No can do. We're going to have to do something about this. And if you ever find yourself feeling sad or feeling like your mental health is declining, and what this is saying that limiting your scroll time is better than Prozac.
Yep.
Start there.
That's the first step. Yep.
Start there.
And I love, like, it reminds me just like the idea of when you go to these comedy shows and they make you put your phone up before you get in there. You know what I mean? It really, you get to sit in. Not only do you not share their content, but you get to actually be there and enjoy the moment at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like your whole appreciation of where you're at. You get to be present at a certain point in time that you don't get to do when you're always checking your phone.
Well, and if you do nothing else, I've started this lately, although I cheat a lot, but at least the last hour before you go to sleep, phone in another room, put away, don't look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And
9 o'clock.
at least the first hour in the morning. Now, I don't do that at all during the week because I'm on the air, but on the weekends when I wake up, at least the first hour in the morning and the last hour at night, no scrolling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what we need to do, Dominic. We should be pushing that, Dominic. Let's do that. First things first, last half of the year, let's lock in and get our cognitive
10 years. Your brain goes downhill as you get older. It doesn't have to. I mean, I know if you're doing your Tai Chi, drinking your water, eating your herbs, your Dr. Goss herbs, your go-to cola, you can stave a lot of stuff off. You know, I'm like the poster girl for that. Health enthusiast. But 10 years of mental decline out of 2 weeks of, wow.
Just like that.
We're going to have to get on that. All right, we can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about it if it's on your mind. If it's not, I'll make it up. That's what we do around here. We got a lot to talk about. KBLA, Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions. This is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and the drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
She's sharp. She's fearless.
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how I'm going to get clicks, stop it now.
She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seales is here.
I am Amanda Seales.
Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. Starting Friday, July 17th, only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seales, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it.
You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works.
This is not your average radio show. This is a Seals Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, City Attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do thank you. I'm glad that you are here. We can get caught up on what's going on around and about. I just wanted to share with you what I was reading about socials, because I'm a person that feels like if we force kids to use computers for school, we need to let them have fun with computers too. We need to be creative in the tech space. I'm here for that. I love my technology. I could not do my job without it. Let me be clear, not and be a mom the way that I have for these decades of having a career. So I don't, I'm not trying to give the wrong impression here. I do love my social media. I love the tech. But when it's starting to infiltrate our mental health and the functioning power of our brains, well, that's something we need to know about. That's something I feel we need to pay attention to. Okay? That's where we are. So, happy Friday. I'm always heartened on Fridays because when I come in to the show, usually the day before I come in for the show, part of my show prep is looking at reparations. I always say, okay, what's happened in the reparations space since last week? And believe it or not, there is always a lot of stuff, so much so that I never have enough time to talk about all of it on any given day. So I like to tap in here and there, try to help you and me keep abreast of it. And also, just because I find it encouraging, these are the palate refreshers. These are the progress. So apparently, the CARICOM Reparations Commission had a briefing in London this past week where they called for the return of the British Virgin Islands. They want the islands back. Could the U.S. Virgin Islands be next? I don't know. But the Caribbean nations are calling on the U.K. to give back the British Virgin Islands. They also want King Charles to commit to decolonizing all of Britain's overseas territories, the so-called Commonwealth. They're talking about a resurgence of colonization around the world, which is absolutely logical if you look at the moves that the United States is making and the rising popularity of fascism and the resurgence of an authoritarian style leadership in places like Argentina. In fact, you see that the Argentina, some activists are calling for Argentina to be under investigation because they had a Falkland Island signage up at one of the matches. Well, the Falkland Islands are islands that are in dispute that Argentina claims they own. Back to the resurgence of colonization, which is what CARICOM was pointing out. And they want their islands back. This is the CARICOM Reparations Commission, which represents the Caribbean, and they were in the UK this week. They want reparations for enslavement, colonization, and the subsequent harms, much like the task force, the California task force called for. They say that the Caribbean is the most colonized part of the world. I'm not sure what their measuring stick is. It would be, I laugh because it would be quite a competition, but I can also see why. And they launched their new manifesto, calling for reparations and talking about the moral, ethical, and legal case for reparations. on Tuesday in London, the Barbados ambassador to CARICOM said that decolonization is now part of their reparations manifesto. It's a key demand of the reparations manifesto. And again, this makes sense to me. I have said all along that Commonwealth is like colony light, colonization light. It's empire light. What is a Commonwealth? Why does Britain have say-so, or in some case the status of head of state in these nations that are not technically colonies? And when we talk about colonization having a comeback, I think about places like Venezuela and perhaps next Cuba, where the United States is basically taking over but still pretending that they're a sovereign nation. What is that? What is Venezuela right now? We have their president in prison. We're taking their oil. What is Cuba right now? We won't let them do trade with other nations. We're starving their children. We're starving their infrastructure. No gas and oil, no electricity. People dying of preventable diseases because the United States will not let other countries sell them oil, not even give them aid. We're blocking their ability to do business in the capitalist sphere. What is that if not the re-emergence of a colonial project, the re-strengthening of a colonial project? So I'm here for this. And again, every time, every week when I come and prepare for Freedman Friday, I'm learning. I didn't know that. Look, if you got in the habit of just Googling reparations while you're scrolling, do something useful. Google reparations once a month. Your mind will be blown with how much stuff is going on all over the world. All over the world in this space. News, traffic, and sports, then more conversation on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A Dalton, Illinois summer camp at Rucker Athletics Fitness and Training Center has been shut down after video surfaced allegedly showing children fighting inside the program. Angela Taylor provided video showing what she calls a fight club that also involved her daughters.
People was telling them what to do, fighting, no attendance, no supervision, no structure.
Village officials have ordered the camp closed pending an investigation. The family of Black Mississippi College athlete Nolan Wells has met with local prosecutors as the investigation into his death continues. Attorneys say the district attorney plans to present the case to a grand jury once the investigation is complete. And questions are mounting after the fatal shooting of Black 20-year-old Tyron Johnson during a National Guard deployment in Memphis. State investigators continue to review the incident as lawmakers call for greater accountability over the Guard's role. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers kick off the second half of the season tonight in New York against the Yankees. The Dodgers are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They lead Arizona by 11.5 games in the NL West. The other 5 division leaders in Major League Baseball heading into the second half: the Milwaukee Brewers, Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Chicago White Sox. While in New York City Thursday, LeBron did a live taping of his Mind the Game podcast in front of several hundred people. LeBron offered no clues regarding his future. The 41-year-old free agent said he is not ready to decide on what team he'll play for next season. Southern University shortstop KJ White signed a free agent contract with the Oakland A's. The HBCU star was a semifinalist for the Dick Howser Award, which goes to the nation's best college baseball player. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We don't do ordinary. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. We have something you need to hear. Right now, you may qualify for low-cost home internet. And we're not talking about a catch. This is real. Many internet service providers offer low-cost internet plans if anyone in your household is enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, SSI, or is income eligible. There are a lot of families in our community who deserve to be connected. Here's all you do. Call 844-461-7893. That's the Get Connected call center. Real people ready to help you enroll today. Or go online to internetforallnow.org to find a provider near you. You may also qualify for a low-cost computer through Human IT. Connectivity is not a luxury. In 2026, it's a necessity. And you deserve access just like everybody else. Call 844-461-7893. That's 844-461-7893. KBLA's got you. If you missed any of this, you can always go to our website at KBLA1580.com. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 in partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, CETF.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat. I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No thanks.
Unapologetically progressive. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. We don't tell you what to think, just what to think about.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? I didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk about. This is one of the things I was saying that we did not get a chance to talk about last week, which is that there's a UK minister, former UK minister, who said that the former British colonies are owe money to the crown. In other words, that places like Jamaica that were colonized Barbados that were colonized by the British need to pay back Britain for the infrastructure they built, saying that the colonizers invested in their countries, so therefore the former colonies need to pay Britain. And that set off a whole storm. The Barbados Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, said it was an asinine suggestion, and says, "I can't believe we're being asked to respond to the suggestion that the descendants of the enslaved should pay for the machinery that oppressed them." But that is, in fact, exactly what was suggested by a former British Prime Minister, former Home Secretary. She's now part of the Reform UK Party, which is an anti-immigration party. And that is a growing kind of sentiment and outlook, a white supremacist outlook that is becoming more and more popular. Former Minister Suella Braverman is her name, and she believes that the formerly enslaved should pay reparations to the former slaveholders, which, by the way, has already happened in both Britain and the United States. The people that didn't get reparations were those who were actually harmed by it. But I think that comment and the kind of firestorm that followed has made these Caribbean leaders even more militant in their approach. A group of folks from the Caribbean met with senior clergy from the Church of England this week too, pushing for reparations, calling for independence for all of the territories in the Caribbean that are currently held by the French, the Dutch, the U.S., so there goes those U.S. Virgin Islands, and the British. Now, the return of the British Virgin Islands was the loudest because they were in the UK, but they're also calling for all of these other territories to be returned. U.S. Virgin Islands, there's so many different Caribbean nations there that are still territories, supposedly, of these European powers. And CARICOM is saying, we want them back. And they will, I'm not sure if they did yesterday or if they will today, meet with some British parliamentarians. They're going to have a second trip. There's another trip still coming up in the fall, as these Caribbean leaders are just not letting up, and they're pushing not just the British government, but also the Crown, the ornamental imperialists, to pony up what they're owed. Meanwhile, Andy Burnham has become the leader of the Labour Party there. He will be the new prime minister there in Britain. He says he's going to give more public control of essential services, give more control to local governments, trying to figure out how he can improve their economy there. He'll go on. He was installed as the leader of the Labour Party on Monday. He'll go in front of King Charles, who will formally ask him to form a government and become the 59th Prime Minister. It's so funny how they say the Crown is not political. Then why does the Crown have to ask the guy to be the Prime Minister? And why do the English people continue to have to pay for this ornamental imperialism? I do not know, but they got a new Prime Minister incoming over there. Of course, the wildfire smoke, we're familiar with that here in LA where we broadcast from, but that Canadian wildfire smoke for a second summer in a row is a real serious problem. It is in North Dakota, New York, Rhode Island, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., the air quality in Michigan and some other parts of the United States, including Wisconsin, Minnesota, parts of Illinois, is considered hazardous. And thus, when we talk about the climate emergency and what we can do about it, I always am reminded that you can build all the walls you want. Air doesn't respect walls. You have poor air quality in one part of town, it translates to another. And there are 850 wildfires burning in Canada right now. The biggest one in Ontario, but more than a dozen of those fires have now moved over into northern Minnesota. And of course, Republicans are blaming the Canadian government because they say they've not done enough to stop wildfires, just like they blame the California government when we have wildfires. There's a climate emergency. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We have less rain. We have more, and when we do have these crazy rainstorms, just like we had in California, we have a lot of rain, and then it's dry and very, very hot and windy for a long period following. That's what happened in the year leading up to the Altadena and Palisades fires. Lots of rainfall, so there was all kinds of brush and undergrowth. And then a long period of dry, rainless, drought conditions. It's very hot, very windy. It is a tinderbox. That's part of the climate emergency. And Republicans can point fingers and blame all they want. Of course, we should be doing more. You should be funding us to do more. But what we really need to look at is getting away from our reliance on fossil fuels, our addiction to technology that creates this problem, that drives this problem, that makes this problem more and more and more scary. Speaking of scary, Iran says that now civilian infrastructure has been hit by the latest U.S. airstrikes, and they are back to retaliating against other states in the region, Syria, Bahrain. U.S. Central Command said it had completed a 6th night in a row of strikes on Iran. They're saying they're hitting military targets, but Iran says they're hitting civilian infrastructure. Now they're targeting other nations that have U.S. military there. Of course, Trump says everything's going great there, nothing to see here, that we'll see the fruits of our labor very, very shortly. But what we know for sure is that there is another escalation in this war. And it is back to growing throughout the region. So that is not good news. And I don't know how this ends. Does it have to get to the point where I don't know, because Trump has backed off this thing about taxing folks that go through the Strait of Hormuz 20%. He says, instead Middle Eastern nations will invest in the United States, which is something I thought he had already secured. But how does it end? He's already at a 37% approval rating. He obviously doesn't care. So what will it take? I think we are starting to see some pushback from Republican lawmakers, not just on this, but on some of his other less popular shenanigans. So maybe that's what it takes. More Republicans feeling they will lose their seats as affordability becomes the issue for Americans. And we know that this war in Iran pushes up oil and gas prices, which is one of the few things that can move the needle with all voters across all political parties. And so maybe that's where the only check, the only balance comes in this moment of a lame duck president trying to reignite an imperial project while grifting in ways I've never seen this blatant or widespread, not in my lifetime. Not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's an Amanda Seales summer around here on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You deserve a treat, a $10 bill credit treat. If you get an LADWP paper bill but go online to pay it, stop! Break up with your mailbox. It's time to go paperless. With paperless billing, bill reminders come straight to your inbox. You can access 7 years of past bills in your online account, and you don't have to deal with paper clutter piling up. It's a win for you, your time, and the environment. $10 bill credit for new LADWP paperless billing signups. LADWP.com/paperless.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 connecting you with services and solutions. The midterm elections are upon us. It is voting season once again. Common Cause's motto is fighting for the democracy we deserve. In service of that goal, Common Cause puts its state and national policy expertise, massive network of grassroots supporters, and nonpartisan approach into action to strengthen our democracy against the challenges we face today. They work at every level of government on priorities that impact each of our lives, like defending the right to vote, limiting big money's influence on our elections, holding public officials accountable, and more. Common Cause is a nonpartisan grassroots organization dedicated to upholding the core values of American democracy. They seek to empower all people to make their voices heard in the political process. This election may be the most important one ever. If you'd like to make a donation or volunteer in service to the Constitution, please visit commoncause.org. That's commoncause.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
The conversation continues right now with Dominic DePrima on First Things First.
Yeah, did you see where where a white supremacist snuck in to the set of the Today Show, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, where NBC has its headquarters, and went up to Craig Melvin, who's the anchor for the Today Show, calling him racial slurs. And then I guess Melvin chased the guy away, but they fired the security guard. The security guard, apparently he snuck past the security guard. And no one was hurt. The guy's being charged with a hate crime. The guy is named Andrew Truelove, the suspect, charged with burglary, menacing, criminal trespass, and hate crimes. He's only 41. I say only because I think of people who sneak into NBC studios to call Craig Melvin the N-word as being older. But apparently not so much. And he was really looking for Al Roker, but I guess any N-word would do. So he effed around and found out and got chased out of there. And that was 9 o'clock in the morning. It's laugh to keep from crying time. I mean, it's clear that these white supremacists are emboldened by the guy in the White House. And I was also thinking to myself, interesting that it takes you being a superstar anchor for it to quickly be seen as a hate crime, because it seems like we always have to debate whether it's a hate crime. The guy was hanging from a tree. Oh, but it wasn't a hate crime. Yeah. Continuing to keep an eye on, speaking of hate crimes, possible hate crimes, on the story of Nolan Wells, the teenager who was found dead after going out on a boat to an island with 3 white friends. And it continues to baffle my mind the way these reporters are so biased in just the simple things. But the family has agreed, Ben Crump reported that the family has agreed to look at the phone at the same time as law enforcement. And what does that tell you? It tells you they don't trust law enforcement. They're not handing over Nolan's phone to let law enforcement do what they will, spin as they will, delete as they so desire. They are going to be in the room with law enforcement, and everybody's going to be looking at the same time. So I think that's a smart compromise. I assume that the lawyer, Ben Crump, will be there with them. The district attorney has said that they will seat a grand jury once the investigation is over. The case will go before a grand jury. Tiffany Townend Blacknell pointed out in a really brilliant social media post that it doesn't mean that they're going to bring charges. That many times a DA will convene a grand jury actually because it is secret, so that you won't know what's going to happen. And I also believe, she didn't say this, but I believe that they use it as a stalling technique. They try to wait till the topic is no longer hot on social media, till celebrities aren't calling for justice for Nolan Wells or the truth to come out, and then they quietly don't bring charges. That's a repeating pattern. So I think that my take on that is it means we have to keep talking about the story. We have to keep bringing it up, because the desire, I believe, the desire of law enforcement clearly is for this to go away. And you've got 2 cases bringing a spotlight to small town Mississippi at once. One is baby Cohen Wiley, who has caused that Senatobia Walmart to be shut down off and on since the murder of that 1-year-old child. And now Nolan Wells, which is not a police case as far as we know. We don't know. It could have been accidental, but it sure doesn't seem like it. And if it is, you've got to prove that, because we're talking about small town Mississippi and a young black man coming up dead under suspicious circumstances. So I love that the family is being so intentional about this. Yeah, we'll show you the phone, but we're going to look at it with you. And I do think that the DA saying they'll seat a grand jury once the investigation is over means we have to keep paying attention to it, because who knows when that investigation would be over. They could take a whole year. They could take longer than that. And then it goes to a grand jury, and then they deliberate. And we don't see those deliberations, nor will we see what is being presented to the grand jury to consider, what evidence is brought in and what is not. And if you look at the way this is being reported on, that is concerning, because even our Black Information Network News said, well, the photo that people were concerned about, or the video that people were concerned about, has been debunked, that it wasn't the day of the killing. But that's not actually accurate reporting. What happened was that one of the young men who went out on the boat with Nolan Wells said that that wasn't Nolan, said that it was him in the video. That hasn't been independently verified. That's just what that one young man said. Prayerfully, it's true, but we don't know. And that's not how investigations work. Oh, well, that guy said he didn't do it, so I guess we won't look under that tree anymore, won't look behind that couch anymore. That's not how investigations work. But that is how many of these mainstream outlets are reporting it. There's been no evidence of foul play. There's been no evidence of not foul play. What we know is that a young man was left on an island without his phone. And what 18-year-old goes anywhere without their phone? That is in itself suspicious. And there are many other contradictory things in this story. So for me, for a reporter to say there's no evidence of foul play is irresponsible reporting and inaccurate. There are many inconsistencies with the story, none of which have been debunked at this time. There is no evidence of foul play? Is there evidence that there was no foul play? The video has been debunked? No. One of the persons being I won't say accused, one of the persons who is having doubt cast on them says that video is not accurate. So if you report that, it means you're taking his word for it, which is not typically what we, as journalists or reporters, are meant to do. Yogi Fish says he thinks the FBI is there with them as well. I hadn't read that report. It could be. It could be true. I know that a couple of celebrities were calling for the president to send the FBI, the resident. I'm not sure if he did. Perhaps he did. I didn't see that update. There's so much mis and disinformation about that. All I'm saying is that we need to keep talking about it and keep commenting about it. Just like I said about commenting on Keith Porter every time someone brings up ICE, we need to keep commenting on Nolan Wells, on Carmelo Anthony. These are active cases. And it's up to us to make sure they're not swept under the carpet. The best of Tavis Smiley's up next. He had an incredible week, and he's going to share the highlights with you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on social media. I'm at Deprima Radio everywhere, unless you're taking a break from your scrolling. Like my dad, the late, great Amiri Baraka, used to say, a person is either free or they are not free. There can be no apprenticeship for freedom. Until next time, my beloved KBLA delegation, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A Dalton, Illinois summer camp at Rucker Athletics Fitness and Training Center has been shut down after video surfaced allegedly showing children fighting inside the program. Angela Taylor provided video showing what she calls a fight club that also involved her daughters.
People was telling them what to do, fighting, no attendance, no supervision, no structure.
Village officials have ordered the camp closed pending an investigation. The family of Black Mississippi College athlete Nolan Wells has met with local prosecutors as the investigation into his death continues. Attorneys say the district attorney plans to present the case to a grand jury once the investigation